Trying to go live. And I believe I'm live. Hi. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Carla Metzdorf. And I am coming to you. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I went to go shut off my alarm. But I'm coming to you live to talk to you about exercise today because you need to exercise that anxiety away. Exercise is awesome for anxiety. So we're going to talk about that and why. So as you come on, say hi, let me know who's on with me. And let's just jump right into it. Well, for those of you who don't know me, because there's a lot of new people into the group, my name is Carla Metzdorf. I am admin to this group, Overcoming Anxiety for Stressed Out Moms Who've Had Enough. And I'm also an anxiety coach. So I am talking to you today all about exercise because exercise is really, really important to overcome anxiety. So as I said, when you come on, say hi, because I can see that there's viewers, but I don't know who you are. So just let me know that you're there. And anytime that I talk, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I'll get to the questions later. But if you need any more explanation of anything that I'm saying, just let me know and I'll explain it more and make things more clear. So usually I start off my live trainings with definitions. Hi, Amanda. I will start off with definitions. Amy, hey, because I want us to be on the same page. I usually have my own definition. And if I ever quote anything, I will let you know it's a quote. So exercise, what is exercise? Hi, Rita. Exercise is a way of moving your body, okay, so that you get some kind of benefit, whether that benefit is a physical benefit, an emotional benefit, hi, Leah, or a mental benefit. It's a way of just moving your body, changing that energy, and getting all the benefits that we're going to talk about. I love exercise. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I am a gym rat. I've been working out since I'm a teenager. And, you would think then how did I have, okay. And then you might say, well, why did I have an anxiety disorder? Why did I have a disorder, a panic disorder? And why couldn't I sleep? And why did I have depression if I was always working out? Well, let me explain that when I became a mom, okay, I had a gym membership and I sold it because I wasn't getting to the gym a lot. I was using the fact that I was a new mom as an excuse to not work out. I am a new at-home mom. I don't have time to work out. I actually took my gym membership and sold it. So for years, not that I got no physical activity because I was running, after my son, and then I was running after my daughter, but I wasn't working out the way I was, so I didn't have the routine that I did. I wasn't sleeping the way I wanted to because I was breastfeeding and my son kept me up. So my life was turned around, excuse me. So let's talk about why you should be exercising. Well, first of all, I want to say I am going to do a quote because there is a clinic called the Calm Clinic. And they've done studies, and those studies have shown that there is a very strong correlation between the lack of physical activity and the development of anxiety disorders. God made these bodies, and he did not make them so that we can be dormant, so that we can be sedentary, sitting on the couch, laying in bed. We need to get up and get moving. Our bodies were meant for physical activity. Anxiety is energy. It's energy. When you're stressed, when you're stressed, you tense up, right? You can feel it in your muscles, somewhere in your body, whether it's in your face. We sometimes feel it in our chest, our back. we'll feel it in our stomach, we'll feel it in our leg, we'll feel it all over. We'll get this tension. But if you're feeling this tension and then going, oh, I don't feel good, I'm so stressed, I have tension, I'm going to go lay down and I'm going to go on the couch, thinking that that is what's going to make the tension go away, you're misinformed. The best way, you want to get rid of that tension, get busy, get going. Inactivity will make that worse. Inactivity, being sedentary, is going to make those symptoms worse. So I was talking about stress. Now, if you have anxiety, you're probably dealing with a lot of symptoms. And a lot of you, I know, you hate those symptoms. I hate those symptoms, those anxiety symptoms. No one likes those anxiety symptoms. We want them to go away. But we also know the way to make them go away is not to, push them away or ignore them or keep telling yourself, I just wish they would go away. Okay? If you want those anxiety symptoms to go away, first of all, it's understanding what they are. Second of all, exercise is the best way. You want those anxiety symptoms to go away, get off that couch, get out of that bed, get busy, get moving. We know that when you're stressed, when you have anxiety, you have hormones, right? You have neurotransmitters. And the brain will send signals to all over the body for the release of these stress hormones. They're going to get you into that fight and flight, which are giving you all those symptoms, okay? Because your body wants you to take some kind of action. And you're maybe not taking the action that you should be taking. So you're feeling your heart racing and you're not really moving around, and it can seem very scary, especially if you're new to anxiety and you really don't know why this is happening to you. But when you exercise, okay, exercise releases the feel-good hormones, okay? Those are things like dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. These are hormones that are released into your body that will change your mood, that will pick up your mood and make you feel better about yourself. So why wouldn't you want to exercise? Because it changes your energy. Now, I understand something here. Some of you will say, but I exercise and it gets worse for me. And I know exactly what you're talking about. You see, exercising mimics anxiety sometimes. Why? Because when you exercise, what happens? Your heart races, right? When you exercise, you sweat, your breath is labored, right? Maybe you feel some constriction in your chest, tension in your muscles, and you're thinking this anxiety is getting worse. But the thing is, it's not anxiety. It's the exercise. It's just that you're associating it to be the same, and they're not. The difference is the release of the hormones. Okay, I understand because when I was having panic attacks and anxiety and all that, as I said, I wasn't doing much taking care of myself. I was a new mom taking care more of my son than I was taking care of myself. Then I realized, all right, I got to get back into some kind of activity. So I joined yoga. I joined a studio, and I was there for 2 years. And at first, though, let me tell you, my heart was pounding. I felt dizzy at times. So at times, I thought to myself, wow, this really feels like anxiety. And it would scare me at first. Like, am I supposed to be feeling this way? But then I realized, that's what exercise does, right? You're supposed to get your heart rate up. It doesn't hurt your heart exercise. You're supposed to get your heart rate up. And sweating is just a way of like releasing. And, your breath, all of that's going to get affected. But see, the difference is is that when you exercise, you kind of expect to feel that way. We know exercise will make your heart race. We know exercise will make you sweat. We know when you exercise, depending on how you're exercising, you're running, of course you're going to get out of breath. We expect that. But then when we have anxiety, we have these feelings that we're told we're getting because of our fear. Okay? So now we're saying to ourselves, so if you're exercising and feeling those feelings and being scared of them, you have to, in your mind, make that disassociation. In other words, tell yourself, it's how you talk to yourself. I'm exercising. I am exercising. I am sweating because I'm exercising. My heart's racing because I'm exercising. I'm breathing like this because I'm exercising. Otherwise, you're going to associate anxiety with exercise. Is that all making sense, ladies? Has any of you ever had that issue where you exercised and you felt the same symptoms of anxiety? So you just stopped exercising thinking, wow, this is causing me great anxiety, because your heart even raced more and you didn't want to feel that. You already feel that with anxiety. Does anybody relate to that? So the way to do this is to understand, okay, that when you're anxious, yes, that's why I don't want to exercise. Okay, Rita, then this live is for you. All right? This live is for you, because what you need to understand is your heart racing because of exercise, it's a good thing. And you're releasing the good hormones. When your heart is racing because of anxiety, now you're not harming yourself in that moment, but what's different is what you're telling yourself. One is the feel good, and you're being optimistic and you're saying this feels good, so you're getting those good hormones. The other one is because of fear, and you're telling yourself, I don't like this, I can't cope with this, I can't deal with this. And your mind thinks you're in danger, and your mind thinks you're being challenged, and it releases stress hormones. Is that all making sense? Reader, does that make sense? Does that clear things up? So the sensations of anxiety and exercise are similar. However, they're different for different reasons. And when you can talk to yourself differently as you exercise and accept those symptoms as you exercise for what they are, and tell yourself, yes, but this is going to change my energy. This is going to give me what I need to be better. Change your perspective. It's going to work for you quite differently. So the first thing that is going to happen for you with exercise, it's going to change your energy, and you're going to start secreting feel-good hormones, neurotransmitters, and your mood is going to change. You're not going to be as irritable, as bitchy, because I'm sure that's something maybe you've even been told. And for those of you who have perimenopause, menopause, exercise, you want to understand how to deal with those symptoms, exercise is like the greatest thing you could do for your perimenopause and your menopause, to deal with symptoms. And when your mood changes and you're feeling better, what happens too is that you become more social, because you're telling yourself, oh, I feel good. So maybe you build your self-esteem, and you go out, you stop um, refusing invitations. Maybe maybe you have better relationships with friends and family, your husband. Maybe you'll have more sex. Maybe you will, I'm just trying to think of the other social thing. Oh, you'll go to work. And because how many times many of you don't go to work because of how you feel. I can't go to work because of how I feel and because I don't have focus. Exercise is going to fix all that. It really will. If you stay with it and be consistent and get a routine, you're going to fix all of that. It really, really helps. So your social life is going to definitely feel better with exercise. And I said your confidence, of course, because you're going to see that you have more energy. Your energy is going to change. So you see you have more energy. So what you do is you're going to do things like clean the house. How many of you are not cleaning your house? You're saying, I don't have the energy. I don't have the motivation. You're going to find it now. You're going to find the energy, the motivation that you didn't have before, because that's what exercise does. Speaking of which, I've told this story so many times, but that doesn't mean you've all heard it, because there are a lot of new people. So for those of you who have heard this story, you're just going to have to suffer through this for a little bit. And those of you who are new, when I was really having high anxiety, depression, hardly sleeping, little focus, no energy, very hard to get out of bed. Really couldn't get out of bed. And thank God my husband, although he didn't understand, he was trying to be as supportive as possible. And on days when he didn't run to a meeting or something, he offered, hey, I'll take the kids to school, which was a good thing. But at the same time, it was probably a bad thing, because he probably should have said, get out of that bed and go take the kids to school. But he was trying to be sweet and help me out, because I really couldn't get out of bed. It was really hard. So I had won a gym membership, and like I said, I've always been a gym rat. But for years, I did not work out because I was a new mom, and I used that as an excuse to not work out. So then I had my second kid, and that's when she was 1, that's when the Pandora's box was open, because that's when I was diagnosed with the cancer. So anyway, then this happened a couple of years in, and because now my daughter was in school, my son was in school, and I was in bed. My husband said, let me take the kids. And now I'm home alone. I won this gym membership, and I'm going, Carla, you got to get yourself out of bed, because I started studying anxiety. I started understanding that staying in bed was not going to change anything for me. If I wanted to see a change, I had to make the change. Nothing and nobody was going to do it for me. So I'm in bed, and every cell in my body's going, yeah, no, you're going to stay in this bed. You're very comfortable. You're safe. You're going to stay in this bed. But there was that 1% of me going, Carla, you won that gym membership, and, there's a reason why you won it, and you need to get out of this bed. Staying in this bed's not going to do a dang thing for you. Get out of this bed. And, my mind is going and going, and, you have, what they say, they have the one angel here, the one angel there. And I'm listening to both sides of the story, get up, no, stay in bed, no, get up. My mind was going to explode. So then finally, I just became very present, and I went, okay, I'm going to count to 3, and I'm just going to fling myself out of this bed. And I went 1, 2, and I went boom, and I flung myself out of the bed. I stood up, and I was like, okay, I did it. Now what? So I was like, all right, I got to get to the gym, because if I don't go to the gym, I'm going to wind up back in that bed. I just put on gym clothes, grabbed my keys, put on my sneakers, my keys. I ran to that gym, got in the parking lot, and I was like, oh boy, And I just remember, being hesitant. But I did some kind of workout. I don't remember what I did. I think I did something slow and easy. It's the first time back in years. But when I was done, I remember going, okay, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. And I felt better. Went home, took a shower, did some things, got the kids. Then the next day came and the next day came. But guess what, ladies? What happened was my motivation changed because I no longer could tell myself that I couldn't do it because I already did, right? I already did. I already proved to myself that I can get out of that bed. I went to the gym, I worked out, and what happened? I felt better. Already showed myself what working out could do. And I already knew that because I've had a history of working out. But I showed myself that if I could just stick with it, if I could just be consistent with this, my life, I can do this. I'm going to make changes. And I wasn't wrong because from that day on, I think I started going like every other day because I wanted to start slow. But I did it and I had no more excuses. I did it. My life changed. My life changed. Now, was I over anxiety? No. Did I automatically start sleeping better? And no. The first thing that happened, I wasn't so depressed anymore. All of a sudden, I wasn't feeling depressed. The depression just lifted. It was wonderful. Now, the studies do show that like one of the number one ways to overcome depression, or the way to overcome depression, if you're not going to use medication at all. And first of all, medication does not make you not depressed. Like those medications are there to help you function, but they're not going to take everything away. I was on medication, and because I worked out, another benefit here, because I built my self-esteem and my motivation, and I got out more and built up my social life again, and I changed the chemicals in my body. I was able to come off my medications. I was no longer depressed. And was I sleeping better? Some nights. At first, it was some nights, yes, because I became tired and I did sleep. Did it cure my insomnia? No, not right away, because I still had a lot of mind work to do. Because I still how do I say this? I still like made associations in my mind with anxiety in my bed, and like I still had some acceptance work to do, and some of you that made no sense. To some of you, you understand, especially if you worked with me, and to some of you, I understand that made no sense. But basically, and this is something that you will learn listening to me, is that anxiety goes away the moment you accept it for what you're going through. The moment you accept it for what it is and you face what you're going through, and you take immediate and affirmative action. So exercise changed my life for the better. And I got into that routine. And to this day, I mean, do I go to the gym? No, because with COVID, I stopped going to the gym. I was always at the gym. But now I have it in my basement. And so my basement's set up. I've got weights. I've got things down there that I need every day to work out. And now that I have this job, I go, I work out, I shower, I'm here. Like, I don't have to like do the whole transportation thing, so that's the only reason why I'm not at a gym, because I have it all here. So working out, if you're not doing it yet, all I got to say is why? Why? Because if you knew that exercise was the thing that was really gonna get you over anxiety, I mean, like, the hell, really help you deal with those symptoms that you feel all the time. Okay, you want to those symptoms go away. the best thing is more activity, more exercise. Now, I mean, I understand, um, depending on your age, depending on, do you have an illness, sickness, disease? Maybe you have something going on where the doctor's saying, you have something wrong with your back, or you have something wrong with your legs, or, and I get it, you have a physical ailment that does not let you exercise. Okay. Now, when I was talking about exercise, yes, I was talking about things like lifting weights, maybe running, or something that's going to get your heart pumping. Um, but it doesn't have to be that way. All right. Some of us, we have no choice. We're very limited in how we can move our bodies. And I don't know if anybody who's on with me has that, but I know that there are a number of you who are very limited, and this is where you need to tell your doctor, I have an anxiety disorder, and I know exercise is good for that, and I want to move my body, but I have this limitation. What can I do? Because you want to do this safely. Because maybe you can't, hi Terry, maybe you can't lift weights, okay? Or maybe you can't lift the 40-pound weight, but maybe you could lift a 2-pound weight, okay? And maybe you can't run, but can you walk? Okay. Maybe you can swim. Swimming, actually, they say, is really good for some of these ailments. Like, it really helps relax the tension of the muscles. So maybe you could do like water yoga, or chair yoga, or some kind of yoga, where it because there are yoga positions that if you tell the person that you are, let's say if you have a trainer, well, that's the other thing too. If you have physical condition, okay, if you can invest in a trainer, go to the gym, tell them I have a bad back, but I need a trainer that's going to help me exercise in a way that I can, help my body. And then, if you're pregnant, they have exercises for pregnancy. There's so much that you can do. But if you don't think of exercise that way, you could do physical activities like gardening. Gardening can be exercise. Now, I garden. I mean, do I ever get my heart rate up to the point where when I'm doing like HIIT routines and when I'm working out with weights? No, but I'm not sitting on the couch. The thing is, let's talk about this for a second. Exercise is also really good, okay? Because two things. You're very present when you exercise, right? When you're exercising, you're like in the moment. You're focused on what you're doing, and and how you feel, but usually it's how good you feel. You're just in the moment. Where you're not is in the future, worried about that thing that you're always worried about. Okay. You're in the moment, focused on working out and feeling good. And the other thing it does is that, I mean, like I said before, it helps you cope with symptoms. But also, I was thinking of something. Oh, it interrupts your thought cycles, right? Because when we're anxious, right, we get these intrusive thoughts in our minds. I couldn't think of that. I just thought of that out of my head. We get obsessive with some thoughts. We have these intrusive thoughts that go over and over. But that's what exercise can do for you, because you're forced to be present. You're working out, you're present, you're changing your energy. You don't have those stress hormones anymore. What you're doing is you're making the feel-good hormones go into your body, and you're just it interrupts that thought process, that anxious thought process that you had before you were working out. Now, going back to what I was saying before, if you have limitations, There are other things you could do. Like, let's go back to gardening, because sometimes to garden, you have to be very present. Or let's say even needlepoint. Now, needlepoint, now that's not very physical, is it? You're sitting down and you're doing needlepoint. But I mean, like if you're somebody who can't, let's say you don't have use of your legs for some reason, I'm just trying to think of things that there are activity. It's not just about, it's also about like getting your mind in a different place, exercising your mind. Okay. So doing things, that's why, you saw in the group yesterday, I posed, I made a menu of activities. This, I put in the group. If you didn't get it, see if you could get this. It's the menu of activities to improve mind, body, and spirit. So in other ways, movement is not just all about, the physical. You're improving the mental and the emotional. So sometimes when we're doing things like painting, needlepoint, we're focused in the present moment. We're breaking that thought process. And we're, changing chemicals in our body because we're doing something that is joyful to us. That's the other thing I think maybe I didn't say. If you're going to choose an activity, make it something you enjoy. What do you enjoy to do? What brings you pleasure? What makes you feel good inside? Do that. You may not be up to doing 100 jumping jacks or doing burpees or jump roping or running 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles, or that's fine. You don't have to. But if you can go for a leisurely walk, how about that? And you can make a meditation out of it. As a matter of fact, I have a whole live about that. I did a meditative live in the summer, and it should be in the guide section somewhere, where you're walking, but you're walking with purpose. You're focused on the things that you can see, the things you can hear, taste, touch, and smell. You're getting all the senses involved. And by the way, when you work out, you can do that too. When I work out, and let's say I lift weights, I don't just like, okay, let me get through this workout. Like sometimes like I'm lifting the weights and I'm like envisioning the weights being heavier than what they are. And I'm like seeing myself, the mind-body connection of really forcing those weights up and flexing my muscles. Okay, that's just an example. I'm not saying you got to do that. But I want to say, the one thing I'd like to point out is because I'm officially, I think, in menopause, because I went a whole year, and they say if you could go a whole year, you're in menopause, right? But I also heard some women, get their period in month 13. So if I don't get my period by the time of Christmas, this may be too much information, ladies, but I'm sorry. I'm an open book. There's no secrets with me, but I'm trying to give you an example here. So if I can go through Christmas without my period, I'm officially in menopause. Now, I have one doctor after me, oh, you need bone density and you may have to go on calcium pills and all that. But my research shows I don't need calcium pills because I work out with weights. Lifting weights is actually more beneficial, okay, for your bones than taking calcium pills. So if you're 40 and above, I would say, I'm not saying you have to lift heavy weights. Go, ask for Christmas 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever you think you can handle. And as you're walking, just walk with the weights. Or even if you're going to sit and watch TV, okay? You can go on YouTube. There are walking channels. There are yoga channels. There are all kinds of things you could do, okay? Go on YouTube and get all kinds of videos. Because some of us, we do better having a mentor, right? It's one thing trying to come up with your own way of doing it. But if you have someone to follow, you think it's a little bit easier. You become a little bit more motivated. So instead of watching Netflix, put on YouTube, find somebody that is doing like a walking routine, put some weights in your hand and just walk. There's all kinds, and you're getting like your steps in. Now, to start this, I mean, I don't want anyone being on the couch sedentary and then get up and thinking that you can go run a marathon. You have to start small and slow. And then over time, you can increase in intensity, in the duration, you know, you just increase. And you know, the other thing that I want to say is sometimes, like I said, I had chronic insomnia, and as I was getting better, um, the one thing that I learned was that some of my workout routines were going against me because although, yes, you do release feel good hormones, if you overdo it, okay, if your body's tired and you overdo it, you can start releasing more cortisol into your bloodstream. So you kind of have to listen to your body and stop, like know your body, and like when if I have a day where I'm not sleeping very well, but my workout is like a hit workout. I know I'm going to do a hit workout today and I didn't sleep well. I'll switch it up. I'll say, well, I didn't sleep well. And I'll do something more like a Pilates or a yoga, or I'll just go for a walk because I'll tell myself, I didn't get to sleep and I don't want to put cortisol in my body. So I don't want to put more pressure, more stress on my body than what is necessary. Because that's what's going to release the cortisol. Any more stress than is necessary on the body. So when you exercise, what you tell yourself about that exercise is going to matter. Because anytime you tell yourself this is hard, this is going to work against me, I don't like exercise, why am I doing this? This is really not going to work for me. And and anytime you think that you make the brain think that this is bad, it's not going to work for you. Remember that the brain is always working for you. The brain and the body, remember that brain, that mind and body connection, working for you. So if you keep saying it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, that's going to be your truth. And when you work out, you're gonna be like, oh, I can't take this. I don't like the way I feel with this. And you're gonna give exercise a bad name in your mind. And every time you go to do it, your mind basically is gonna set you up that, oh, exercise, yeah, this isn't good for us. And you're gonna have that mindset that it's just not good, which would be sad because exercise is like the greatest thing. I mean, I'm talking about anxiety here, but there's so many, other things. I didn't even talk about sleep yet. Yeah, I know I had chronic insomnia, but if I didn't exercise, it probably would have been, I don't know how I would have handled that. I probably would have stayed in bed and just gone more into a depression. So it got me over depression almost immediately. Like the depression just lifted. My insomnia, although it continued, I was better able to cope with my nights of not sleep, better able to cope with the symptoms, better able to focus, better able to function when I couldn't sleep, but yet I still exercised, changed my energy. What else can I tell you? So, hey, listen, the way you could get yourself to exercise, if you're not self-motivated, okay, well, get yourself an accountability coach. or an accountability friend. Do you have a friend who goes to the gym? Say, I want to start going to the gym with you. And maybe she's too much of a gym rat that she doesn't want to work out with you because she wants to work out heavy. And, because sometimes that happens. So what I'm going to say is, but maybe you could go with her. And as she's doing her vigorous workout, you could be somewhere else, and just say, see to it that I do a workout, that you just get me there and I do it and we'll go and leave together. If you can get an accountability partner, that would really, really help you. When I went to the gym too, I made so many friends. I had so many friends at that gym that I was looking forward to go, not just for the workout, but socially too. It was like, hey, I get to know so many people. And it was just it was so great. Get yourself an accountability partner for sure. And if you don't have a friend who's into working out, someone you can't walk with, somebody I don't know. Like I said, you could do it like me. I do YouTube. I find somebody that I like on YouTube and I go, I'm following her and I do her works, What's the easiest exercise to start out with? I have terrible anxiety. Hi, Rebecca. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm like this because it's all the way down at the bottom. I didn't see it. Okay. So you have terrible anxiety. Okay. First of all, easiest exercise, that definition is going to be different for everybody. Walking, of course. As long as you have no trouble with walking, walk slow, steady, easy, picking up on speed and duration, the time you're out. But it doesn't just have to be walking. I don't know where you live, but where I live, it's freezing cold. I'm not going out walking. But also I have kind of a gym in my basement. But if you can, what you can do is, do you watch TV? How many of you are watching Netflix on the couch? If you don't want to stop watching Netflix, I can't force you to stop watching Netflix and find something on YouTube. But what you can do, okay? And I hope you can see me, okay? Let's see if you can see me. All right. What you can do is, as you're watching TV, all right, you can do things like sidestep. Just go side to side, side to side. Just go side to side. Can you march in place? March in place. Just march in place. Side to side. March in place. Kick your butt with your heels. Just go. You can't see me doing it, but kick your butt with your heels. You could do that. You could step out in front. You could step out in back. There's so many things that you can do, and you can also get your hands, your arms involved. As a matter of fact, I'm actually thinking of making a workout video to help the beginners, to help those who are sedentary and want to get up and get going. So I may do that. So that's an idea. So actually, Rebecca, that would probably be the easiest thing, to just sidestep, some Noic exercises. Yeah, I have anxiety as well. When my heart rate gets up, I get really anxious. Okay. But I don't know if you were on in the beginning, Jenny. I kind of talked about that because I do know that a high heart rate is going to keep a lot of you from exercising because you don't want to feel that symptom. But you can watch the beginning of this in the replay, and I kind of explain that. But when you can differentiate in your mind that this is anxiety, this is working out, and the hormones are the hormones and the neurotransmitters are differently being released. The benefits of exercise, you'll see it differently. You'll change your perspective, and it won't be so scary when your heart rate goes up because you're exercising. First of all, a fast heart is not the sign of a bad heart. Okay. Watch it later, Jenny. Watch the replay, okay? And you'll hear me talk about that. There's too many benefits of exercise for any of you to not exercise. So just going back briefly to those of you who cannot exercise, who have like a physical ailment, find something to get yourself busy. Talk to the doctor, talk to I guess a physical therapist, or ask that person, tell that person, I have back issues, I have issues with my legs, I have this, I have that. What can I do to safely move my body? Because I know the benefits of exercise. How can I get exercise in without hurting that area of my body? There is no reason to sit sedentary on the couch unless you are like told you are bedridden by the doctor. I don't want you to do anything that you're not supposed to do. There are too many benefits to exercise, and the doctor's just going to agree with me. Because the other thing, which I didn't talk about, how many of you have high blood pressure? Exercise and cholesterol issues, and what else did I talk about? It just is so good for so many different things. Yes, I did talk about swimming, Jenny. Swimming is great. And I talked about yoga. There's just anything. That resource that I put in the group yesterday, I gave a whole list of things. I was talking about, if you go to this page, it says, I suggested biking and roller skating, rollerblading, jumping on the trampoline, jump rope, hula hooping, yoga, just dancing. How about dancing? Ladies, put on some music. It's Christmas. Put on Christmas music and just dance. Just dance. Dance like no one's watching. Dance. Just dance around. Move your body. When you're cooking, dance. When you're washing dishes, dance. When you're folding laundry, dance. Just move around. Move your body. It doesn't have to be traditional exercise. You could just be like, woohoo, just get yourself going, get yourself doing, get your mind off your issues, your anxiety. I know I look ridiculous right now. I know. But I can't impress upon you the importance of exercise. Nothing is going to change your mood, change those stress hormones quicker. Nothing's going to improve your health better, get you off all that medication and get you sleeping. You're going to lose weight. And I know that for some of you, that's very important. You're going to improve on relationships, and the benefits of exercise outweigh any cons. So, okay. So, you know what? Actually, I am going to start taking questions. So put all your questions in the comments. Because basically, I think I said it all. So let me see if I can scroll through all the comments and see if there is anything that I missed. I know I answered you, Rebecca. So do anxiety causes ear ringing? And will exercises calm it down? Um, you know, can anxiety cause ear ringing? I can't say it ever did for me. And I don't know anyone who's complained about ear ringing because of anxiety, but that doesn't mean it can't be a symptom of anxiety. But ear ringing is also the cause of other things. I do know anxiety does change how your brain works. And I know ear ringing, I mean, it depends on why your ear is ringing. I don't want to put anything in your head. I know my husband has tinnitus, which is the ringing of the ears. And we know that tinnitus is not an ear problem, it's a brain problem. So, so can anxiety cause ear ringing? I mean, I'm not going to say no, but I don't want to say 100% yes either. And I would definitely go to a doctor first and tell the doctor that your ears are ringing and why, and that you do have anxiety. Is this anxiety, or are my ears ringing for another reason? Will exercise calm it down? I don't know. If it's anxiety and you know it's anxiety, I would say that as long as you take care of the anxiety, the symptoms will dissipate. But you have to know it's anxiety, okay? Because we're talking just about anxiety here. So as long as you know you have anxiety and your symptoms are caused by the anxiety, we're, being present, focused on working out, changing the chemicals in your body, that can help. I looked it up on Google, Dr. Google, and it says anxiety causes ringing. I went to the doctor and everything was good. Okay, well then you have your answer. You have your answer. I didn't know that you already went to the doctor. So, if I just don't know anyone who ever told me that they had ringing of the ears before, and they knew it was because of anxiety. I just know, besides my husband, I've met other people with tinnitus. Tinnitus can cause a lot of anxiety. My husband, thankfully, doesn't have it, but tinnitus can cause a lot of anxiety. So, but if you don't have tinnitus and you know the ringing of your ears is definitely anxiety, yeah, then, take care of the anxiety. Take care of calming down the quieting the mind and calming down the body, telling the because basically what it is that we're trying to tell the central nervous system that we're not in danger, we are okay. We're trying to switch off that fight and flight and change the chemicals in our body and not stay in fight and flight all the time. Does anybody else have any other questions? I don't have the ringing all the time. It comes and goes. Okay. All right. But when you do get it, maybe do a little exercise and see what it does. Or if you know it's anxiety, do something that will calm the anxiety and see if the ringing goes away. Because if it's a symptom of anxiety, you take care of the anxiety, the symptom should dissipate. Does anybody have any other questions? Is everybody good? Everybody understands how exercise can really help their anxiety? Everyone understand the importance of exercise? Now let me ask another question. Who here is going to start exercising if you're already not exercising? Who's going to start exercising? And if you're not, my question would be, why? Why? I honestly think you're doing yourself a disservice by not exercising. And of course, work with a doctor. Okay, a doctor who can confirm that you're healthy enough to do some of these exercises, because I do know some of you have physical ailments where maybe you shouldn't be doing certain exercises, but that doesn't mean that you can't do any. Slowly, I'm anemic, so I get out of energy quick. Okay. Okay, Rebecca. But see, the thing is, as long as you know what it is you have, okay, and you understand your limits, you understand, let's say, like your limits, basically. You understand what you can and you cannot do, and you don't overdo it. As I said, it's not that you can't do any exercise. You just may not be able to do some types of exercise. Like a doctor may say, exercise, but make sure your heart rate doesn't go above 40 or 50 or something like that. I have a friend who has to wear a watch and check out her heart rate. And if her heart rate goes above a certain amount, she has to calm herself down. It happens. But when you have that awareness, that doesn't mean you go sit on the couch. I'm going to start weightlifting. Woo, Kim! Yay! Kim, slow, light, slow, and then pick it up, okay? Please do not attempt anything heavy at first. Slow and easy. Slow and easy. It takes time to get to heavier and quicker and more duration, and science is actually saying that some of these 10-minute to 20-minute workouts are just as effective as a 40-minute workout, depending on the intensity and what you're doing. So do your homework, ladies. You have to know your body. Okay, you have to know where you're at with your anxiety. You have to know your body. You have to, do a little research and know what is best for you. And when I work with a client, I work with you to understand your situation and and help you find what's best for you. We will go on YouTube together. We will find videos. We will do a workout together if that's what you want to do. So with that said, are there any other questions before I end this? Is there any other thing? I'm trying to think. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. I think I said everything. Just remember, when you're not meant to be sedentary. Inactivity is not the best thing for anxiety. So if you're on the couch telling yourself, I will work out when I overcome this anxiety. I will get moving when the anxiety gets better. You don't have the right information. No. It goes the opposite way. When you get going and you get moving, the anxiety will get better. The activity comes first. Then the results come. You can't wait until you're over anxiety to do the activity to overcome anxiety. It doesn't work that way. All right, ladies, thank you for everybody who joined me today. And I hope I was clear and I answered your questions. And I really hope that I got some of you to get back into working out or doing some type of activity. Check with your doctor. Go get some kind of friend, accountability partner to get you motivated. Somebody to call you up every day and be like, are you up? Are you out of bed? Get going, get doing. Or I'm being at your house in 2 minutes and you better have your gym clothes on because we're going to go work out, or do something. Work out with your kids. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't say this before. Work out with your kids. Get your kids involved. Get your grandkids involved. Why not? It could be fun. Put on Christmas music and dance around with the grandkids or the kids. That would be awesome. Yeah, why not, right? You can make of it what you want it to be. That would be awesome. Oh, I like that idea. All right, ladies, giving you more reason why you need to do this. Who's working out today? Who's going to work out later or tomorrow morning? I hope so. Message me, tell me how is that you started working out and how it's going. I love to hear it. So be well, ladies. And please take time to work out. Put it in your schedule. Stop making excuses. I made excuses, and I wish I never did that. If you're a new mom, make the time. If you're an old mom, make the time. You can find time for anything that you want. You find the time to watch a Netflix show. You find the time to go get your hair done and your nails done. You can find the time to take 10 minutes to do some kind of workout routine. You can. Be well. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.